So I was watching a YouTube video today, and it was shocking. What was happening? It was a news report of a church that was having problems. Apparently, there had been a pastor who had been there for about 2 years, and things were going bad. They weren't making enough money to keep the budget. Less people were going to church. They were going radically in debt, and people were getting frustrated and contentious and angry at one another. So at one point, the church decided to get rid of the pastor. And he was away at a conference getting reinstated to this church, and the trustees of the church changed all the locks so he couldn't get in. So the news tells all this on this YouTube video, and then they have this picture of this pastor talking to these trustees, and the pastor had come back and said, "I'm staying at the church, you can't kick me out." And he's talking to them like that, and he kicked out 2 of the trustees. So there's this battle going on for this church community. He's talking to this woman, and this woman finally gets frustrated. She lands back and she slaps him across the face. And then this pastor literally walked up to her and smacked her in the face. So the film crew is watching this. You're seeing this crazy, contentious time at a church. Pastor hits a woman across the cheek. They separate the 2, and you hear these kind of other folks in the background, "Well, he hit her first. I mean, she hit him first. She hit him first. He shouldn't hit." And it was like, all of a sudden, you're like, whoa. Now, if you knew nothing else about Christianity, and you saw that video clip, what would you think about Christians? How Christians show compassion to one another is a demonstration of the world of what we really believe. Jesus said it this way. He said, "A new commandment I give you, that you love one another. As I have loved you, so you should love one another. All people will know that you are my disciples, not by the right doctrine, not necessarily by the way you stand against things in culture. All people will know you are my disciples." How? By the way you love one another. Because how we treat one another on the inside in Christian community is the greatest way to show the world what Christian love is all about, how Christ loves us. I love it. Right before he said that, he was actually with his disciples, and he was washing all of their feet. He was showing how to people to be a servant. But what's crazy about it, he was washing the feet of the people who were going to deny him. He was washing the feet of Judas, who was going to completely betray him. Can you imagine that? Jesus is looking into the eyes of a guy who's going to be the reason for his death, and Jesus shows love and servitude by washing his feet. That's the model that we're given. Are you compassionate with those who are close to you? Does your wife, does your husband see you as a compassionate person towards them? Because your greatest witness is how you love the person who's closest to you. Do your kids see you as a compassionate person? You know, it's crazy. If the kids see you at church and you're doing all this religious and holy stuff, but you're home and you're not showing compassion, that is telling them something about God. If you are compassionate and loving towards those on the inside, people on the outside will see it. So my hope is that if you are a part of a church community, that you will be the one who advocates for forgiveness and love when things get contentious. Because we're always going to have conflict. Conflict's part of the deal. But we don't react the same way if we're following Christ. We react with compassion. Are you a compassionate follower of Christ? Be that voice. Be the one who says love.